Okay, it's that time again where I catch up on 4 GAC videos for which I have been delinquent. I am sorry. I've been watching the markets a whole lot. But first, it was announced today that CG are going to release somewhat imminently tunes from the Mandalorian TV show. I have had a raging semi all day. I feel like I've taken Viagra, but I have not. So that's awesome. They announced it a lot sooner than I would have guessed or anticipated. I was looking for an October release or September release of the characters. That may still be the case. They may just be giving us a little bit of string to hold us over for the next little bit because they know that we are all going to be pretty excited about that, even if it ends up being a third tier team like, CLS or JTR at this point, honestly. Real quick, while we're watching this nonsense, this is my first attempt outside of TW to go up against GL Ray. There are not any on my arena shard as of yet. There's only one SLKR, so bear with me. It's all a learning process. CG announced Mando, Cara Dune, and Grief Karga. That is awesome and a great start. I'll say it right here at the outset. If Baby Yoda is not a summonable tune for Mando, I will quit. Probably not, but I'll threaten it all the same. If Baby Yoda is targetable and can be killed, I will quit. Again, not really, but I'll threaten it all the same. I'm sure we can also expect IG-11 and Queel, the Ugnaught. That should come as no surprise to anyone, and I know I've said it here on my channel, and I've said it on RSG when I've been over there, that, and in my Discord server, my bottom dollar says that Moff Gideon will be acquired through a Grand Admiral Thrawn sort of event wherein you have to have all the Mando team tunes in order to participate in the Moff Gideon event, just like with Admiral Thrawn. And of course, should come as no surprise to anyone that the Mando tunes will probably be marquee. We haven't had... I'm trying to think, when was the last time we had a marquee? I guess the Resistance Heroes, maybe? Right? Yeah, I think those were really the last marquees that we've had. So those will almost definitely be marquee tunes. Don't be surprised. CG have very astutely assumed that we will all spend money to get the Mandalorian characters because it's honestly, objectively, the best Star Wars media that's come out in the last few years. I anticipated that the tunes were going to be released closer to the release of the second season, but with the corona, who knows if they will actually release the second season on time. It was slated for October, I think. Who knows if that is still going to be the case. I'm sure that's up in the air for Disney. Disney is having a lot of trouble because all of their revenue comes from, not all, but certainly most of their revenue comes from movies, the theme parks, ESPN, stuff like that, stuff that is, for the time being, all on hiatus. So I don't know if that means they're going to, well, I'm sure they want to push content out faster, if at all possible. The question is, can they do that within the confines of the COVID, social distancing and whatever else? I don't think that they have filmed Mando, or at least certainly not all of it. I know that they started working on it. I don't even know if they've been filming it, honestly. The good news is that Mando does not require a whole lot of people in terms of cast. Very small cast, very small sets. You still, however, need lots of people to build those sets and all the entire production team. In a good way or in a weird way, everybody, almost everybody on, at least on scene in The Mandalorian, is wearing some sort of a mask already. But don't be surprised if the second season gets pushed a little bit later, depending on how the next few weeks and months go. But all the same, very, very, very excited. We were talking about it on RSG stream tonight. It was their 200th episode, which is fucking incredible, honestly. We were thinking that maybe Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, might be neutral. Greef Karga might be neutral. I think that Cara Dune is going to be light side. I mean, she's a rebel. She might be a light side scoundrel, which is fairly uncommon. I'm pretty sure we only have... Actually, that's not true. We have... Well, she's the only rebel scoundrel. No, that's not true. All the Hans. All the Hans are rebel scoundrels, minus young Han. So that's where I think she'll end up. Din Djarin may be light side. He might be the first light side bounty hunter. That would certainly be interesting. I will say that the show has kind of rehabilitated the image of bounty hunters insofar as they appear to have certain guidelines, guild rules, and a code. So, does that make Din... Well, obviously Din Djarin's actions in the show would qualify him as light side, so I don't know. It could go either way. He could be neutral. He could be light side. I don't think he's going to be dark side. That wouldn't make any sense. So he's either going to be neutral or light side. Cara Dune, same thing. I know in the show she alludes to having a checkered past. All the same, I still think at worst she is going to be neutral, more likely light side. Greef Karga could go really any of the three ways. He could be light side, he could be neutral, he could be dark side. I would probably bet neutral for Greef Karga. Then again, Kira is a light side character, and Kira really should have been the first neutral character because she is decidedly light and dark in the movie. So I don't know. That would be interesting. IG-11, I mean, kind of same thing, could go either way. If we're going with the reprogrammed Queel version, decidedly light side. Queel himself light side, even though he used to work for the Empire, but he was a slave for the Empire, so same thing, definitely light side. Moff Gideon better have the Darksaber. He better have the Darksaber whenever he comes out. Yeah. Do I think that there's going to be a Mandalorian faction added? Probably not yet. Hopefully soon. There are a lot of great Mandalorian characters that have not been added to the game, whom I would like to see added to the game. Most notably Pre-Vizsla, Bo-Katan, Kryze, aside from Din Djarin. I also really want to see the Armorer, man. She's a fucking badass. Definitely the Armorer. I would like to see more Mandos in the show that would then be included in the game. We did obviously have an episode where we saw a number of Mandos, most of whom are presumably dead at this point, hopefully not. I really want to see the heavy trooper Mando with the Gatling gun, who is voiced by Jon Favreau, because that would be sick. Yeah, fucking stoked. CG, a lot of people are saying, oh, CG's finally listening. I don't know that they're necessarily listening so much as they know that they can make a lot of money on the Mandalorian characters. And yeah, some people might be pissed off by that, but you know what? That's the business. That's the business. They're not doing this for free. They're not doing this because they're... although they may be Star Wars fans, they're not producing this game because they are Star Wars fans. They are producing this game to make money. Do I think that they could have a little bit more tact in trying to make their money? Yes, absolutely. For those of you who are in my server, you already know this, but I spent the $300 on the mod packs that had that started with 6 speed. That is pretty much unheard of in terms of farming. I had one keeper out of all of those packs, out of that $300 and something worth of packs that I bought. I had one keeper, and it was only a plus 17. So that was the biggest waste of money I've ever spent on this game, and I've spent a lot of money on this game, so that should tell you something. So I wasn't thrilled about that. I applied to the new beta testing group. I don't know what you would call it at this point. It's probably I probably will not get in because I'm sure they have tens of thousands of people that are or have applied to join the new beta testing program. They do ask for your forum, your Swigo forum handle, and the very few times that I have posted or commented on the Swigo forums is usually to bitch, at which point Kino, and I'm sure most of you know Kino, probably in the same context that I know Kino, Kino warns me or removes my post 99 times out of 100. Actually, it's more like 9 times out of 10 because I really don't post that often. So if CG look at my forum handle and posts, they may go, oh, no thank you. I don't presume to think that they know who the fuck I am or care for that matter, even if they do, because they probably don't. If they look at my in-game, because you have to supply your ally code too, maybe if they look at my in-game, they might give me a second look. Again, I don't presume to think that they know who the fuck I am as a content creator. That's highly unlikely. And even if they do, and even if they consider me, if they do watch my YouTube channel, they're going to say, no, this guy is a loose cannon, and he curses a whole lot. And they would be correct. So, no, I'm not overly optimistic that I will get picked for the new beta testing program, but stranger things have happened. Look at the world in which we live currently. On a completely separate and unrelated note, I want to give a very big shout out and thank you to Cubs fan Han. Cubs and I have spoken a few times, really not that often or that much, but he gave me a very nice plug recently today, in his video of the top 10 Swigo content creators under 10,000 subscribers. I was dead last at number 10, but that's okay. I made the cut somehow, so thank you, Cubs. And Cubs very accurately and astutely pointed out that this is not a G-rated channel. Accurate. I had a good chuckle at that one. But he did say that watching this channel was kind of like shooting the shit or shooting the breeze with, a buddy. And that is certainly the vibe that we are going for here. It's a game, after all, and certainly most people can glean what I'm trying to do, even if I'm doing it totally fucking wrong, which does often happen. People can usually glean what I'm trying to do in terms of battles and matchups and what have you. So, I don't really ever want to go move by move what I'm doing, play by playing my battles. I certainly much prefer to shoot the shit and talk about the game broadly or talk about completely unrelated things, public or current events rather. So Cubs Cub's appraisal of my channel 100% accurate, and I certainly thank him for throwing me a plug. I got a number of new subscribers from that plug, so thank you very much, Cubs.